Greetings and welcome back to I Am Coco Adventures, and a special welcome to my new subscribers from the US, South Africa, Germany and the UK, Austria, Canada, Switzerland, Jamaica, Netherlands, Kenya and South Korea. Please write in the comments where you're watching from and if I missed somebody. In this video we are diving into something deep and heavy, but also real and necessary. The experience of being black in the diaspora. The racism, the exclusion, the feeling of never truly being welcome. No matter how long we've lived somewhere, the struggle to build a life, to grow, to breathe, in places that weren't built for us. From high rents, daily microaggressions, to that silent grief many of us carry. This video brings together stories from the US, Italy, Jamaica and more. And it asks, what happens when we don't feel at home anywhere? Let's talk about it. First my intro and then the first video to react on.
Or cleverly on the beat.
When I think about it, I could actually cry. Why does this skin color bring so much hatred? And I feel so deeply for what Africans from all the countries in Africa had to go through as soon as they stepped foot in America, bro. Like I could actually cry, but I need to revive. Like, oh my God. Like, a skin color, guys, let a skin color does not deserve what happened to my people. Don't get me mad. And that is why racism hasn't gone anywhere. White people are evil. Oh my God. Oh my God. To be black, oh my God. To be black. You see that country called Africa? Sorry, that continent called Africa. Sorry, I'm consuming too much American media. I'm saying Africa's a country. That continent, Africa, that continent is blessed. We are blessed people. We are. Oh my God. I just feel like going to a protest right now. Oh my God. I love you, Africa. I love my people, bro. Like, whoa.
This is truly heartbreaking. And I can feel the pain and the despair in her words. It's unimaginable how much our brothers and sisters, both in Africa and the diaspora, suffer from such unbearable racism and hardship. When you see her almost breaking down, it's a clear expression of the immense pain many of us face in our daily reality. It hurts to know that so many people lose their dignity and peace because of racism. This video is a reminder that we must continue to fight for justice and for a world where we can all live in peace and respect. Our voices must be heard, even when it's hard to speak.
I had such a sad thought about being in diaspora, and then I went and I looked at it, and it's true. So people in diaspora are frozen in time because you leave home. You come to this new land, and the new land is already trying to change you enough. Whether you like it or not, you're going to have to change. and you hold on to certain things that you remember. It could be recipes, it could be a way of speaking, it could be a way of doing things, and you hold on to that because it is a way of you preserving your culture, your identity, for you not letting a piece of yourself get eroded simply because you moved away from home. But the thing is, the people back home are constantly changing, and they're not afraid of change. They're not afraid of trying new things, new ways of speaking, new ways of cooking, new ways of doing things, because they are where the culture is made. While the person abroad, depending on how often they go home, could still be holding onto a practice that has probably been outdated in their homes, and probably even passing it down generation to generation, depending on how often someone is able to go back home and be like, yo, people changed, people no longer do this. Imagine someone who left home like 30, 50 years ago and still cooks a certain meal the same way their mom or their auntie made it back home. But the people back home evolved from that recipe. They tried new ways, they found new, better ways of making it, and they moved on. So in some way, the people abroad are frozen in time because they keep passing those traditions down from family member to family member in a bid to hold on to their culture, which is so sad when you think about it. The fear of allowing yourself to change because you already know that your environment is changing you so much. Like, my accent is not the same as it was 8 years ago when I came here, and no matter how much I try to hold on to the way I speak, some days I'll catch myself say a word and I'm like, no, what did I just say? It's sad. I'm laughing because it's so sad, because I'm thinking about all the people who are not able to go back home as often and don't feel that connection to home, so they keep holding on to things that are outdated in the name of culture and or holding a piece of themselves. But a good way, I guess you could think about it, is like the people abroad in diaspora being a time capsule of what happened. You could go to someone abroad and taste how they make a certain food, and you could be able to tell, oh, I can tell that you were last home in 2006, you were last home in 1995 because of the way you're making this, because after that something happened, or this thing happened that was really popular, and everyone back home now changed how they make the food. So in some way, I guess the people in diaspora are bridges to the past, time capsules. But all the same, I feel it's just sad that they're not allowed, or they do not allow themselves to evolve, because doing so would be allowing a piece of their identity to be erased.
Frozen in time, yeah. Hold on to tradition and don't evolve. Okay, this is not the case for me because I'm born in Germany. So please let me know in the comment section. Did you experience that feeling?
As a diaspora, sometimes you can really feel trapped in between two worlds. And then I'm a child that was born here, raised here, my whole childhood is here, my whole friendship is here, everybody in my family that I know is from here. But I have parents that don't identify with this country. For them, this country will always be foreign. And sometimes you can feel almost trapped in between two worlds, because obviously you have a Jamaican identity that you always go back to, but obviously a lot of people don't accept you or resonate with you because of where you speak, your cultural identity, how you move. It's very much foreignized. But then when you're in foreign, which is London, you then have an identity because of your household and where you were raised inside of, and your identity of being a Jamaican diaspora. You then have instances where people don't think you're like from here, you know, people will say you're Caribbean, or people will put you in that bubble where you don't necessarily need to be, and it's almost like there's no lane for a diaspora, which is like almost an identity within itself, because you're going in between two worlds that you're not fully a part of because you were meshed. Like, I always went back and forth to Jamaica and England, so my kind of way in life is almost in between two worlds, and I think that's a lot for diasporas, where we're kind of in between two worlds, but we're finding our identity in that middle ground. So I just want to shout out to all the diasporas that kind of go through this and have the similar type of background, because I feel like we don't get spoken about a lot, and sometimes we can be overlooked. I do think we can be overlooked, and sometimes it can be very hard to find an identity. We either go way too hard on being British or way too hard on being Jamaican, so it's like that middle ground. And yeah, that's why I always advocate, like, being proud of being a diaspora, because hey, amazing.
I can really relate to that. This constant tension can really make you feel like you belong neither here or there. Finding your true identity is difficult when you're not fully embraced by either world. But maybe the key lies in accepting yourself as you are and defining your identity in both worlds rather than waiting for it to be granted to you from the outside.
So this is a question a lot of people have been asking me, and I've been to Italy multiple times. I've been to Milan, I've been to the whole northern part of Italy, and now I'm in Rome. And as someone who lives in the Netherlands and has been to other European countries a lot, I cannot say for sure how it is here. All I can say is they're not very welcoming. Like, I've not received overt racism. I've not received like overt discrimination based on my skin color. And I'm out there a lot. Like, I'm constantly walking. I'm constantly on the streets. Like, you see me out there. So I think I would feel some of it if it was that clear. What I can say is, though, compared to other countries like the Netherlands or Germany or Belgium, for example, the customer service and the way they approach you as a customer, I don't know if it's me as a black person, but me as a customer is not the most friendly. But I don't know if they're just not that friendly in general. But that's weird because there's the southern hospitality. So normally I know the people from the south are more hospitable, but my experiences have not been the most friendly. Like, they're okay. Like, they serve you and it's just like pay and leave. You know, they're not that, oh, how are you? You know, they're not that nice as I would expect from the southern hospitality. I don't know if that's because I'm black. I don't always like to make these assumptions because I just think it reduces the pleasurable nature of my experience in the place as well. So I just like to give people the benefit of the doubt. But what I can say for sure is they have not been overtly racist towards me. They've not been overtly discriminatory, but they're not the nicest people. Like, they're just not the... I don't know. So please, other people who have had experience in Italy, let me know in the comment section what your experience has been, because maybe I'll recognize some things when you say them, like, oh, okay, I saw this too, but I just did not think about it like that. So yeah, please let me know in the comment section if you've had other experiences like that have been like clearly discriminatory or clearly racist and stuff like that. I would like to learn. Or maybe I can actually like recognize some things or educate myself a little better. But yeah, my experience has been alright.
In Italy, it's interesting how often we, as Africans in the diaspora, experience this subtle yet very palpable rejection, not necessarily through direct racist attacks, but through the way we are treated in everyday situations. In stores, in restaurants, you can quickly sense that you're not truly welcome, even if there are no overt insults. This subtle form of exclusion shows that racism isn't always loud or obvious, but exists in small gestures and looks that make you feel different. It's a constant reminder that no matter how much you're part of society, you never truly belong. Let's get into the next one.
My darling people, good morning. See trouble everywhere. 2-bedroom flat for £1,250. 2-bedroom flat. I think we need a solution to this problem, and I think I've found the solution. Anyone that has been here for over 10 years, it's time to go. See, all of us, including me too, I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to go back to Africa. If you have been in this country, United Kingdom, or if you've even been abroad anywhere, for more than 10 years, because the plan is you come, you work, you make money, you go back to Africa and invest, and live like a king. You know how we like it. Now you've been here 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. What is it? How long is it going to take you to make that money? If you have not made it now, you will not forget. Carry your bag, go home. Go home. So that those that are coming will have chance to sit down, and also enjoy the milk and honey that we are enjoying. You cannot just come and just balance and you don't move. It's not fair. How are people coming from home going to cope? 2-bedroom for 1,250. How much is the basic salary of a British person or of a UK citizen? That one person is being asked to pay 1,250 for a 2-bedroom flat. You see, so it doesn't work. It's time for us to go home. So I'm proposing the 29th of November 2023 for all those who have been in the UK for more than 10 years. Gather at the airport and meet me there. As I will, first of all, I will be looking all of you. So I'll be watching. When all of you will be entering the plane, I'll make sure I count you all in. Me, I will be the last to enter, and I will shut the door myself. I don't want some of you jumping through the window, because I know how you are. I know your mode of operation. So once we all enter and the airline door is shut, then we'll go home. So that those who are coming can find a space to sit down and also make a bit of money. 10 years time, we'll kick all of them out. New set will come in. You see, don't say I don't help you on this apple. Don't say I don't help you. The solution that Buhari and Tinubu combined together cannot give me, I will give you. Thank me later.
Great advice. You make money and go back home to invest. Yeah, prepare yourself. And then let's gather at the airport. Let's gather at the airport. Who comes with me?
Mother was an immigrant. She's from Costa Rica. So I always knew I was black. When I went to Costa Rica, when we went to Limon, that's on the other side. It's Caribbean. The culture is different. The food is different. Everything is different. So I always knew that I was black. And it, like you said earlier, it wasn't associated with anything negative. It was beautiful because Limon tiene sabor. Limon has flavor. Like, so it was something to be proud of. But sometime around middle school, we moved from Flatbush. And Flatbush is Caribbean, and it's a place where my mother felt very comfortable, and it was a place where I knew how to function. We moved to Bushwick. This is Bushwick in late 90s, early 2000s. Bushwick was still very much Puerto Rican. It was not getting gentrified. It wasn't cool. It was Bushwick. If you don't know that I speak Spanish, then you are likely to say a lot of things as you blow out my hair. And I heard many things, many comments on the color of my skin, on my weight, and I would come home and tell my mother, and my mother in her righteous indignation would walk with me to the salon, and she would blurt out with this beautiful, quick Spanish that I could not emulate because I was born here, and she would tell me to defend myself. But how do you defend yourself against an entire salon that is saying that you're not beautiful, that you have pelo malo, or like, so it's interesting, right? Like, my understanding of being black within the context of Costa Rica was never negative. Coming here, being in Bushwick, to be black and to be Hispanic or to be Latino never the two shall meet. That was when I realized, oh wow, I am black. And I'm strange black because I'm a black person who speaks Spanish. I'm even stranger because my accent isn't Caribbean, it's Central American. And so I just don't fit in anywhere in this context of a Puerto Rican Dominican neighborhood. And so at that moment, I made conscious decisions to say, well, I'm just not going to be Latina anymore. I am going to just stick to the Afro-Caribbean side because it made sense. My last name is English. Like, this just makes sense. And so that became the conscious decision for me to identify solely as West Indian, even though my roots are in Central America.
How to defend yourself in the whole salon. How to defend yourself in the whole country. No matter if you're mixed, you're always black and get treated like that. The next one moved back to Ghana, and it was a tough decision. Here's why.
All right, so 7 years in the USA, I have decided to move back home to Ghana. And it took me 4 years to make that decision. And I'll say this is one of the toughest decisions that I've ever made in my entire life. And when I came here, just to give you a context, when I came here, I was 23 years old. That was back in 2017. So I'll be 30 years this year. And after 7 years, for some reason, I feel the need to go back home. I don't have a plan. That's the scariest part of it. I don't have a plan. I just have a feeling, and I'm just taking a step based on these feelings, which is not ideal, which is not something good to do. But for some reason, I just have this feeling within me, this discernment that my true potential can be seen in Ghana. And that's all what I have right now, with no plan, no strategic planning. I just want to go. So I had a conversation with my mom. Even though she didn't want me to move back, I have decided to do it. So I've been able to convince her enough, and I'm going. one aspect of me is extremely happy. One aspect of me is also curious, not sure, not too certain, and it's normal. Okay, it's normal to feel this way because I never thought I'll be moving back to Ghana or back home so soon. And on a normal standard approach, most immigrants go back home when they retire, right? So I'll say in their late 50s, 60s, that's when they move back. But I'm only 30 years old. So for me, it's too soon. But also, I don't think ideas will be fully formed before we should take them, or no idea will come fully formed. So at some point you might want to do some stuff and you just don't know what to do, but you know you need to do it, right? And in as much as the US offers you a lot of opportunities, there's a lot of stuff that you don't see or most people don't pay attention to. Especially if you've never lived in this country before. You think it's all glamorous, it's all shiny and all that stuff, but it's extremely stressful. So you end up working so hard, you make a lot of money, but you know, the quality of life to me, it's quite gray. It's not to the extent that I want it. So my social life is messed up, health-wise, things are off. So I'm just trying to go back home and, you know, focus more on things that means a lot to me at this point in my life. And as you grow, if you're watching this video, as you grow, I would say always pay attention to the things that means a lot to you, because they will change. You know, maybe right now you find yourself at a stage where you are more concerned about money, or maybe you're more concerned about having a family, settling down, and all that stuff. And when you achieve those things, you realize that those things, you know, yeah, but those things don't mean a lot like you think they will, right? So at every stage in your life, you have to focus on what means a lot to you, and you chase those things. And sometimes it's just maybe going back to where you started from. So that's how I see it at this point in my life. So it's a tough decision, and I'm making this video to say, if you've done it before and you have any tips for me, I will appreciate it. If you're also thinking about doing this, I'll say go for it. Don't let anything stop you. You will never know what's at the end of the tunnel until you get there. If you fail, guess what? You learn something. You can share your story. You will improve one way or the other. If you succeed, then you know you got what you were looking for, right? So this is something that I really wanted to share with you.
So we want to go back because of that feeling. You won't be accepted out of Mama Africa if you're black. And we hope to learn about our culture, find our true potential, and be accepted one day. I also don't know what to do, but I know I have to do that. So don't let anyone stop you.
1 week into my art residency, and this experience has already begun to shape me in ways I never expected. As an artist and a part of the African diaspora, returning to the roots of this land feels both grounding and transformative. Here in the heart of Western Region Ghana, I'm foraging for materials from nature, working with the elements of earth, wood, clay, leaves, and stone to deepen my practice. It's a humbling experience to live in a forest that is both ancient and alive, allowing the land itself to guide my work. Each day is a new discovery, and I can't wait to see how these first steps will influence my creations.
My heart is blooming when I see that George is a strong woman and I get motivated to do so. All these experiences we've gone through, the racism, the rise of the far right, and the challenges we face, they only bring us closer to our true origin, our motherland, Africa. They nurture the longing to return home, to the roots that are deeply embedded in the soil of Africa. Because the more we feel alienated here, the stronger the desire grows to go back in our homeland, to live and thrive freely. What do you think? Has your perspective shifted through the experiences you've had? Let's talk about it. Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to learn more about this topic, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out any of my future videos. And it makes me very happy. Stay strong, stay proud, and I'll see you in the next one.
Easy.